First sequential number, of course, went first. Our two candidates up here have done the same, and Mr. Cannon is lucky enough to go first, and each candidate will be alternating with the questions. So for our candidates, if you would, you have 3 minutes to give us introduction. Our volunteers will indicate a 1-minute warning. Again, for the sake of time and, of course, not to be rude. But if you would, Mr. Cannon, start us off.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks, everybody, for being here. My name is Dalen Cannon. Angie, my wife, moved in here in 2001, 24 years ago in September. We fell in love with Byhalia, small town charm and the people, and that's what's keeping us here now. We did a lot of volunteering work, different projects, and my favorite was a sponsor tent for Sounds of Summer. That was one of my favorite projects that we did. We had a lot of fun at that every time. I was nominated to serve on the Planning Commission for a while, and I served there until I was elected as an alderman in '08. And served until 2016, the last 4 years being Mayor Pro Tem. The first year as an alderman, we went to the MML conference, which everybody has to go to for the water and whatnot. But we had an opportunity to go over to Ocean Springs, and we got to see there high school that they had renovated into what we're doing now. My heart just absolutely leapt at what they had done. It was amazing. So the board that I was working with, we did a little work on it, but not a lot. But now that the Arts Council is taking it over, it is moving, and I am very, very happy with that. I'd love to see that project completed.
Mr. Cannon, if you would, could you speak up in the... Yep.
Okay, thank you. So anyway, like I said, I really would like that building to be finished up. It's going to be an incredible building for us. In saying that, since you know I'm a garden club husband, I'm hoping that our garden club can find a little spot in that building. Thank you. And just to have a place to display their stuff. And I'd like to see more things go on in this town. We used to have a lot go on, a lot more than we do now. We used to have street bazaar, arts needs, and a lot of these still go on. Sounds of Summer, a homecoming, Christmas parade, farmers market. That's just to name a few. And we still have some, but I like those. I'd like to see a lot more of them, so that we can all be together. Now, I have a few little projects I like done. One is a red light at Stonewall and 309. Everybody sings to 101. We got to have a water pump south of 22 so that we keep the water pressure up over there when we hook a fire truck to it. And then the next thing, I'm always being asked about what we can do about the water here. Well, we're going to work with our engineers. We're going to try to get the funding. We can change the pH of our water, and we can add minerals. We can filter it. Thank you, sir.
I don't need a microphone. I'm your mayor of Byhalia. I got elected in a special election in April of last year. And I can stand before you tonight and look at every one of you in the eye and say financially, Byhalia is in sound condition. We had some problems at first with our police department, and we have sorted through it, and we have got all full-time officers certified. We hire all full-time certified dispatchers. At the moment right now, for years I would drive by the fire station and it would be the lights off at 5 o'clock. I didn't like that because fires don't happen from 8 to 5. We now have 4 full-time fire department with assistant chief and a chief, and we're working toward the full-time fire department so the people of Byhalia will be covered 24/7. Because people, y'all know as well as I do, accidents don't happen just because during the day when everybody's at work. But what I'm doing for Byhalia is everybody wants a light. Well, I'm afraid you're gonna have to wait. MDOT, I've already covered that base. We've been there and done that. And we're waiting on MDOT. We've had met with the commissioner and the district engineer, and we're also working on a bypass around Byhalia through the legislators. And one of the good things I'm trying to do right now, MDOT don't seem to want to help me, but we're gonna do it anyway, the town of Byhalia, is like our interchange. When you drive into this town at night, it's dark. And I feel safety for my wife coming in from Iuka, that out here at that interchange, it's dark out there, it's dangerous. And we're gonna like that interchange. I've got a list I've kind of passed out. That's the projects we've got going. Right now, it was at $125 million. Our budget is $4 million. So that tells you how much work. Everybody's wanting growth. Well, just because you got growth doesn't mean you got the sewer, the water to get it away from there. You got to have a pumps, and this is a dilapidated system. And since I hadn't got but 30 seconds, I didn't pick Byhalia. I didn't move here because I loved it. I moved here because of the girls. There was 4 here, and me and 3 other guys were chasing them. I just married one of them. And you can call time on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Cannon. Mr. Mayor, do you think our downtown is healthy and successful? If not, what will you do to change it?
That's a very simple question, and we're working on it as we speak. As you know, the Byhalia Main Street and the Byhalia Area Chamber of Commerce kind of split, and the town of Byhalia took it back over the Main Street. I have set up a committee. We're interviewing to hire a Main Street director. We have come a long way in Main Street in the last 6 or 7 months. And you can tell it by your sales tax receipts. I see it every month, and the activity that we have down there. But we haven't even started to do what we are planning to do with a director coming in and working with our downtown merchants. Now, I keep telling everybody, if I had a square, I could fill it up tomorrow with merchants, because everybody's wanting to move to Byhalia right now. It's the hot spot. They keep telling us, you're the new Olive Branch. I don't want to be Olive Branch.
1 minute.
We're not Olive Branch. We're Byhalia. But our problem is we got one highway goes through the town and another cuts across it, and 2 interstates on the outside, and all that traffic comes through here. So yeah, if I had a square, we'd have it busted wide open at the present time. But it's kind of like playing cards. You only got so many cards in the deck, and the hand I'm dealt, we're gonna play with it and improve it. But you got to understand, I have a clinic, telephone company. There's a lot of space that's been taken up over the years prior to anybody doing anything. Now that property is coming more and more valuable. Thank you.
Mr. Cannon, I'll repeat. Do you think the downtown is healthy and successful? If not, what would you do to change it?
I don't think it's as healthy as what it could be, but I think we're gonna have to have more activities down there to bring people, to show them, because they don't see it when they're driving through. They see 309, they may see 178, but we don't have enough activities up there to bring people up, to really have an opportunity for everybody to visit our shops and shop here. And so I think we're gonna have to get more activities going down there. I think that the shops or stuff are coming, they're going to, but we're gonna need to bring people down there and show them that we've got what we've got downtown.
Thank you.
You have a rebuttal?
No, sir, we don't have a rebuttal. But I do have a question for Mr. Cannon. Yes. Obviously, there has been mistakes with how the city cemetery has been managed in the past. What will you do to help remedy those mistakes and to ensure families that their loved ones are properly taken care of.
You're gonna need a director, you're gonna need, you know, you're gonna need a whole group of people that's gonna be able to work with that, to be able to get it laid out, and make sure where we are, because I know we're not where we should be. I know some of the stuff that's marked is not where it's marked. So, but it's gonna take a group of people to be dedicated to that and work on that.
Mr. Mayor?
Well, we're working on that also. That's a problem I inherited, and best I can tell, nobody up there in that cemetery wants to be there, because you don't ever get to talk to them about it. And it's nothing about it, it's not a money maker. And everybody's got anybody up there, the ones that worry about it. So, from the city's perspective, we're hiring a surveying firm that's gonna come in and block off all the 1850 section, the 1919 section, the 1957 section, well, it's in the 50s, and in there, in the 96 section, and we're gonna lay out a new map with GPS coordinates according to what's there, and set iron pins on every block. Then the town is buying a CMS program where we are gonna have a database.
1 minute.
Everybody can go in there and turn it on, and you can see who's buried where. Now, I'm not gonna tell you, we got folks buried in the wrong graves. I didn't bury them there, but somebody did, because poor management, and it goes back no one individual, but over several years. But I inherited the problem, and I know how to fix it. I gotta build a new town and square it up and put everybody where they're supposed to be. And we got folks in here as we speak that's got loved ones buried in the wrong spot. But if I get a re-elected mayor, that problem will be solved, because it's on my agenda to do.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mayor, what is your plan for planned growth and encouraging a clean community?
Say that again?
What is your plan for bringing Byhalia into a clean community status?
A clean community?
Yes, sir.
Are you talking about trash?
Yes, sir.
Like I said earlier, you got 309, Highway 178, I-69, and I-22 coming through town. A lot of traffic. And that's 99% of it's not Byhalia, they're from outside. Now, in my 40 years of doing this, March and February is the worst time. Everybody complains about in February, March, because everything's dead, and you see it all. And that's when this county is looked the worst. This is not a new problem to the world. Holly Springs had the same problem when I was there for 38 years. Everybody has this problem right now. If you'll notice, every community is talking about the same issue. March and February. It's always that way. Now, how do I get it picked up? That is with your civic organizations helping. I can't do it with our people. I don't have but 3 men that's on our crew, that's a swing crew, to do this. And that is cutting the grass and other things we do. I don't have the personnel, and I don't want to raise the taxes, because no one wants to pay taxes. But because we are financially sound, we are getting more and more funds in our sales tax, which that's where the true growth is. You don't look at your revenue on your Avalon taxes. You look at what your sales tax receipts are doing. That tells you how your town is doing. And if you'll look, give me a minute on this one. Byhalia is not but $200,000 a year less than Holly Springs. That's how much we come up in the last few years. Now, if you know what I'm talking about, you take Ripley, Mississippi. It's a great one. I'm gonna keep talking. That is a great one, and that's what you look at. Iuka is twice as big as Byhalia, and our sales tax are twice as big as Iuka.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll repeat this question, and Mr. Cannon, we'll give you a few seconds if need be. What is your plan for pushing Byhalia into a clean community status related to trash and the cleanliness of the town?
Well, you know, we've, in fact, Ms. Sarah Fay is one of them that has been very instrumental in organizing community cleanup. And that's the only way you're gonna get it cleaned up. Really, we don't have the personnel and being able to afford the personnel, but you know what? A lot of people like getting out and do it. They enjoy it. It's, gets them outside. They get to visit with their neighbors. And so, you know, I think we could set up more of those, and I think we can clean this town up. Can we keep it clean? No, because everybody driving through, they throw it out in my yard. I got a no dump sign or no trash sign in the corner of my yard, and that's where they thought throwing it out. I was thinking about moving the sign, but at any rate, so that's all we can do. We're gonna have to start. We're just gonna have to work as a community and have more pickup days and clean up more of it. If we want this town clean, and I'd love to see it clean.
Thank you. Mr. Cannon and also Mr. Mayor, but starting with Mr. Cannon, both of you guys have alluded to this, but what is the most important criteria that the community should use when determining tax incentives in order to attract new businesses? What is that? What are those criteria, starting with Mr. Cannon, that should be used to determine incentives to attract those new businesses?
I don't really have an answer for that at this time. That was one of the things I would really have to do research on. So,
Definitely do. It's called in Mississippi, in the state statute, it's called the tax increment financing. And that's where a developer comes in that he has raw land, basically $5 an acre. Avalon taxes are collected on it. He goes in and develops it. He puts in the streets, the water, all the utilities, and then he deeds the utilities back to the city, and then we issue a bond, and we take the receipts from that land where we were collecting $5 an acre. The real property tax goes up. The Avalon taxes go up, and I can tell you right now, it's about $5 an acre what the town of Byhalia receives on a piece of empty ground right at the moment. The county gets a little bit more than that. But you take it and you want to generate, the Avalon taxes will not pay the bonding debtness. You take that bonding debtness, we will sell bonds based on the amount of infrastructure. Huh?
1 minute.
Well, I can't explain the TIF in 1 minute. It's complicated as it is. You take this developer and he spends his money, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 million. And he comes back and he says, all right, $2 million of it is in utilities and roads. The town passes a bond issue that does not go against its rating. It doesn't hurt the town. Then we take the taxes for that many years to pay off the bond. You can go anywhere to 10 to 5. The maximum you can do in the state of Mississippi is 30 years. And because the Avalon taxes are not going to be large enough, you take the sales tax. And what you want to do, and this is the kicker, you want to generate $300 per square foot of space in that retail store. That's hard to get. When you got a Jack's Chicken, put another minute on there, Jack's Chicken and a Dollar Tree, you have to have a box to anchor it. Now, I'm not talking about a Lowe's. A good grocery store will do it. Now, people won't hear this, but they need to know. This is why you do this. You can do it that way. That's one way. There are more incentives through the Main Street organization that we can do incubators at the city, once we get our Main Street built up, that we can invest in potential businesses in our downtown area. And that's what we're also looking at. But the reason we don't have a TIF here tonight is because that anchor. And the guy that wanted to present a TIF wanted us to take the parking lot. He wanted to do it over 15 years. And I didn't want to do it over 15 years. He wanted the county to do it. it took the counties, not only their sales tax, but their Avalon, over 15 years to pay bonds back. We wouldn't receive a nickel for 15 years. I was not for that. If you could get it in a 10-year period, I was all for it.
Yes, sir.
But it got to anchor it with a box. You can't do it with a fast food store.
Thank you. Okay. So, Mr. Mayor, starting with you, with the new developments coming, specifically housing, is HOA required? Is it mandated by the town?
No, HOAs are not mandated in the state statute, the state of Mississippi of doing the development. Earlier, everyone here was talking about the codes. Since I've been on the board last April, I got the board to hire Chris Watson planners out of Oxford. We got a contract and we're rewriting the comprehensive plan for the town of Byhalia. The one that we have now was adopted in 2009. That's when the tractors drove up and down the street out here. Now we got cars and trucks and people traffic. The whole town's changed in 25 years, 30 years there, and since 2009. So we're coming up with a whole new comprehensive plan to handle what we have. The whole thing about it's not zoning. Zoning is just part of it. It's your comprehensive plan, how Byhalia's gonna move forward. And every citizen in town gets involved in it and coming to the meetings to meet with the planners, with the planner that we have, the mayor and the board and the planning commission. And that's when we develop this comprehensive plan, and then after that, then we go to the codes and develop the codes to match a comprehensive plan. In what direction you want your town. And I ran on this theory last time, and I'll run again. I'm not against building anything, but if you're gonna come to Byhalia and you're gonna build it right. We want it done right. I don't wanna be Olive Branch. I don't wanna be Holly Springs. We're Byhalia. But if you're gonna build in Byhalia, you gotta know you're gonna do it right.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Cannon, what is your opinion on ensuring that the new housing developments are safe and clean? Or meet some HOA level criteria that the town sets for?
Well, if we don't have a HOA criteria set up, a lot of these subdivisions will do it themselves only because they want to take care and they want to maintain, they want to make sure that it's a safe, clean environment for everybody there. So at this point, are we going to get into making them do it? I don't think so. But I'm not opposed to HOAs at all. So thank you.
Mr. Cannon, how will the community, if you're elected mayor, how will the community help seniors and help meet the needs that they have with living here in town?
One of the things we're gonna eventually have to do to help our seniors, because I see them walking up and down the road and having to get to the stores, they can't have vehicles. So one of these days, we're gonna wind up needing a transportation system of some sort, not huge or anything, but at least a way of getting some of our seniors and some of our other more disadvantaged people to their stores, to their drugstores, things like that.
Mr. Mayor?
There's already a plan in place. Northeast Mississippi Planning Development District has, if you need a ride to the doctor or to the town or the grocery store, you call them and they'll come by and pick you up. Now, what was your question?
What would the plan be for the town to meet the
All
needs
right,
of the seniors?
y'all talked about the old school. My vision for the whole school, along with the Byhalia Area Art Council, we're developing a plan. What I asked them to do, I don't want an empty building June the 1st when that building is, the contractor hands it over the keys to us. It is not gonna be empty. I told them, I said, I don't care if we had to pull all the women in town and make quilts. We're gonna have some program going on. I wanna see people activity up there, all kinds. They've got art classes, they've got, we're looking at a STEM program, we're working with Amplify on that. and we're looking at putting a kitchen in. We're gonna have the library in there. We're putting Main Street in there. And we're moving Janice Wag and the athletic park and administration in it. So we're gonna have activity in that building. It is not gonna.
He's keeping us honest.
You ain't got one of them things that go tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. No. But that's what we're doing. It's not gonna be an empty building, and they're working toward a plan. Is out of Oxford. He's helping us write the plan. But that plan is gonna be so that we provide activity. Excuse me. We're gonna have activities going on for everybody. Also, I am, at the very moment, the mayor board last Tuesday night approved the cleaning of the gym. Once that gym's clean, we're gonna go in there and have a contractor. We're gonna set it up for basketball for the kids, and I'm putting in 2 pickleball courts for the ones of you that's still able to play.
Okay.
And we're planning on building 2 more on the outside, if you'll notice where we moved the fence.
So everyone, this is the last question. And we're gonna be asking the candidates to provide a closing statement. Mr. Mayor, if you would.
Yes, sir. Provide.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap it
Oh, you're not gonna ask another question?
up. No, sir.
Well, I'm ready to talk. You done got me here. Let's go.
If you would, close the statement.
Closing statement?
Yes, sir.
Well, I was mighty grateful that you elected me mayor last time. I didn't ask for the job. I was sitting at home retired. And I informed the people that came to me, says, won't you run for mayor? I said, I had to think about it. It was 3 or 4 people I wanted to talk to. I said, but before you get me, I'm gonna run it right. It won't be any bickering and arguing in a board meeting. If you notice, we don't have that anymore. That's a business meeting. We go through the agenda and we take care of our business. We have straightened out the police. It ain't no me, because I can't do anything. I have 5 aldermen. They the one that votes. We've got our police department in good shape. We're working on our a new police station. We're working on a
1 minute. He's keeping us honest.
I'm doing a lot of stuff, folks. If you want me, I'm here to serve 1 more term. I'm 70 years old. I never did think I'd do this, the last 4 or any other 4. It ain't like I'm doing it for the money, if y'all know what I mean. I'm retired PERS, so I'm limited to what I can make. And I'm here to serve y'all, but I can tell you one thing about it. Don't anybody get special favors with me or our staff. We've got a good planning guy in there now that knows what he's doing, and he tries and he works hard at it. And you're gonna build it in this town, you're gonna build it right. I can't stop growth. I don't wanna slow it down, but I don't wanna increase it either. But I want what we got that we're proud of. And that's what I'm running on. I wanna get this town in 4 years, if I get elected, I'm not gonna put a booster pump on the south side of town. I'm putting another tank, and I'm putting another well in, because we got 4 wells that are over 40 years old. It is time to correct that. I wanna make sure when I get through and I walk out that door, the town of Byhalia is good for another 40 years in its utilities. We're running gas lines everywhere. We're running water lines. We're getting ready to do $1 million worth of water line on 309, because they've been chlorine won't help the water in Byhalia. It's a soft water. It's at 720 foot deep. The only way to take care of that is get rid of the softness, and that's a whole expensive process. But that don't mean you can't try to work on it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Cannon?
I'm here running as a candidate for your mayor to bring unity and work with everybody in this town, and especially get us a board that we can have to move forward, to move us into what's coming. We don't have a choice. We're already in a growth spurt, and I know all the programs that Don has already set up. He's got a lot, and there's a lot going on in this town. Is that all that's gonna need to be done? No. And we're just gonna have to keep working at it, but we got to work at it a little at a time. All it takes is money and time. So, we're gonna work at it. If we are so far behind of what we should have been doing in our infrastructure and other stuff, let's change that. Let's turn it around. Let's see if we can't move forward, get on this infrastructure, get our infrastructure going as fast as we can go.
1 minute.
Thank you.
Everyone, if you would, give our candidates a round of applause.